Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in this world. Hope you're doing well physically, mentally, and spiritually. Hopefully, I will be able to help you out with whatever you've got going on in your life. At the moment, at least on a mental and spiritual level, okay? With that being said, there's a lot of people who are uncomfortable with fear, with feeling afraid. And I'm here to tell you, straight off the bat, it's okay to be afraid. It's okay to feel fear. Being afraid, feeling fear, does not make you less than. Okay? I'm just coming out pretty much like guns blazing. Okay? It's okay to be afraid. It's okay to feel fear. Okay? We're not robots. At least not yet. Okay? So I know there's a lot of people who make themselves look tough, intimidating, that can go through anything like a wrecking ball and not be damaged. That doesn't affect me. I'm not afraid of this. But it is okay to show, every now and then, or depending on the situation, fear. Especially when we are on our own. And I think we need to come to a point where we have to acknowledge that. We have to acknowledge that we feel fear, that we are afraid. And by being afraid or by showing fear, I'm not talking about, the bumps in the night, okay? The walking down the street at night when it's dark, where there's hardly any lights on. I'm not talking about, coming face to face with a wild animal. I'm not talking about that kind of fear. It's the other kind of fear where, for example, you do not know what's coming next, where you don't know what to do, where you don't know how to react. That is fine. That fear is okay. We're supposed to have that fear. Besides the other fear, the more animal, basic fear, we all have that. It's in our nature. It's in our brains. It's in our system. But the other fear, it's constructed fear. We put it there. So if we put it there, we can remove it. Now, to be fair, it's not easy. It's not easy to remove that fear that has been there since I don't know, a long, long time. Since even before we were born. That fear has been put there. Because if you live in a place, and by place I don't mean like a house or anything, but like if you are in an environment where you're born in it. So basically, they don't teach you fear. They teach you to have courage to go for it, to trust yourself. That fear won't be in that person or people that were born in that environment. They will not know where that fear comes from, right? And in my opinion, the fear comes from people doubting themselves. But when you do not doubt yourself, when you trust yourself, that fear is gone. There's only determination. There's only pursuit of the goal, an achievement of the goal, no matter how long it takes to get to that goal. Okay? That's my opinion. Excuse me. That's my opinion. Okay? You remove that fear, and you'll see yourself like being a lot more free, a lot lighter. So if you've been having doubts about yourself, people, situations, places, whatever, it's okay. Because obviously, like, you've got those doubts, and the doubts will eventually turn into fear if you give those doubts plenty of attention. I'm not talking about like, oh, I'm not sure about this, and then you kind of like let go. No, I mean like where you really doubt something or someone, and you keep reliving that over and over and over and over again, every single day. That's not healthy. You're just feeding it more doubt. You're feeding doubt more doubt. And that will only generate more doubt. And when you've been doing that for a long time, it's very, very hard to come out of it. Nothing, for a lot of people, nothing that they're told will matter. Nothing will change that cycle. So it's important for you to break it. You break that cycle. You say like, you know what? I don't have to be afraid anymore. It's okay to be afraid, but you don't have to. Okay? And especially for men, because men are they are seen as very tough. You know, they're supposed to be tough. They're supposed to handle anything, any pressure, anything said to them, to their faces, anything done to them. Men are supposed to take it. Okay? But a lot of times it's not like that at all. Okay? And that comes from other men, that comes from other women, that comes from themselves. Okay? From their own minds. And then they're supposed to be okay just like that? Well, you can't. It's very, very difficult. So just acknowledge, just accept that you are that you do feel fear. Acknowledge that. Say like, you know what? I'm afraid of the next step. I'm afraid of not knowing what's coming next. I'm afraid of that. Okay, fine. Acknowledge that fear and then move on. And by moving on, I don't mean like forget about it. Don't talk about it. Don't think about it. No. you can't ignore it. If you ignore it, you'll still be there. It's kind of like the corner in your house where you know there's dust in there, but you never clean it. You never bother to clean it because like, okay, I don't need to. And it was like, I'll just pretend it's not there. Well, it's still there until you actually go there and clean it up. It won't go away. It just will accumulate more and more. Okay, so acknowledge that you feel fear, and that is normal, but don't feed it. That's the problem. When you feed it, it just grows and grows. So you need to find a way to deal with it. It's like, okay, what can I do right now to reduce or eliminate that fear? Find a solution to tackle that fear. Okay, now there's many things that you can do. Obviously, you can meditate, you can talk about it with either yourself, with another person, with your best friend or close friend or a family member or even a stranger. Okay, you can do it. You can find ways. And you never know, you might find, if you talk to a stranger or someone else, you might find a solution by talking to them. Either they tell you the solution, maybe you didn't you didn't get it yourself. It's like, oh, that makes sense. That's a good idea. That might be a solution. Or they will say something or do something that will make you think of the solution yourself. Okay? But what you cannot do, what you shouldn't do, not you cannot, I mean, obviously you can, but it's not healthy. What you shouldn't do is to just ignore the fear or feed it. Okay? You tackle it. You don't have to make it as these huge, multiple-headed beast that is trying to scare you. Just tackle it. Just like go head on and go like, hey, I need to deal with it because I cannot feel fear like this any longer. Okay? I have to deal with this in the best way I can. You might not get it straight away. You might not solve it straight away, but that is not the point. The point is you're actually working towards it. Okay? And when you're working towards it, your mind, instead of like focusing on the negative stuff, on the fear, you're actually focusing on solutions, on positive things. So, and when you dedicate your time to positive things, that will just generate more positive things and feelings. Sure, eventually, like you might get like, it's not a perfect thing. Every now and again, you might still feel fear, you know, but that's when like you acknowledge it. You say like, okay, I know you're there, but I'm continuing with dealing with you. And you continue dealing with it. Don't give it too much attention. Because when you give it too much attention, that's it. You're going down on that cycle and it's going to be harder to get out of it again. Okay? So make a decision to tackle it. You don't need to know everything. You just work towards it. I think that is it. Some people, they might have different opinions. That's fine. I don't care. To be honest, everyone has got a different opinion. Everyone will have a different point of view. You want to tell me what your opinion is? Please let me know in the comments down below. Okay? I really want to know your opinion on this. Everyone is different. Everyone will see this topic, this subject, in a different light, with different eyes. And that is fine. What you need to do is you need to do something that applies to you, that makes sense. Okay? So what can you do to tackle that fear, knowing that it is okay to be afraid, to feel fear. The moment you accept that, you are on your path to dealing with it in the best way possible. Okay? You don't have to do what everyone else or some people are doing. Right? Because everyone deals with fear, stress, and whatever in their own ways. Even if there are books about how to deal with fear, at the end of the day, the person who wrote those books, they're not you. They haven't gone through exactly what you're going through. So what they're saying should be taken only as a suggestion, as a point of view. Like what I'm saying right now, you should take it as my opinion, my point of view. And then it's up to you if you want to apply it, if it makes sense to you or not. Okay? But please do not ignore your fears. Acknowledge them and deal with them in the best way possible. Find a way or ways to not only tackle them, but to solve them. Okay? And you will know when it's solved, when you no longer fear, when you no longer have fear about whatever that was. Okay? But the important thing is to deal with it. Okay? Accept it. Sorry, I've got something in my eye. Accept it. And take your time dealing with it. Okay? Obviously, the longer you leave it there, the longer it will take for it to be solved. Okay? So as soon as you can, deal with it. Okay? I'm gonna stay here today. Hopefully I was able to shed some light on fear that people have, on how important it is to acknowledge the fear, and how important it is to deal with it, to find ways to deal with it and solve it. Okay? I hope you're doing well. Thank you very much for taking your time to be here with me today, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care. Bye.